welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that are new here, welcome. I just recently started this series not too long ago, just a couple weeks. And if you haven't watched the first couple of videos, I highly recommend it because they'll kind of go in order and this video will make a lot more sense if you've seen the first two videos. But today I am going to cover some of the topics that I have, or some of the things I've learned from the book, Beyond the Pill. So this is a big part of why I'm on this journey. I will not stop giving credit to my friend Healthy Habits with Mon on Instagram because she is the one that recommended this book and she posts a lot about it, and it honestly, I learned so much from it. I truly believe that a lot of the symptoms I've been having are because of the pill. So I keep saying this, but I'm excited to continue going through this journey. And I just want to use my experience and some of the things that I've learned from the book to teach you guys just a couple things about the pill that maybe you didn't realize before. So I think I'm gonna break up this summary, like somewhat of a summary, into two parts. And this part, I'm just gonna talk kind of about the basics and how she sets up her book and some of the main points of like post-birth control syndrome and like how the birth control can affect your body long term and the symptoms that you could have and those kinds of things. I'm going to talk about those today, and then I think I'm going to cover like thyroid, gut issues, anything else that the birth control can affect in part 2. So stay tuned for part 2. I do have my notes here just because I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the best information. I want it, like most of this is coming straight from this book, plus maybe a couple other things online, but for the most part, I mean, like I said, this book is full of information. If you haven't bought it yet, I highly recommend it. For those of you that are new and you're not 100% sure if this book is for you, this book is for anybody and everyone, all females that have either been on the pill, are thinking about going on the pill, or have gotten off of it recently, and maybe you are wondering what's going on with your body and why all of these negative things are happening that haven't happened before. So just to start, Dr. Brighton in her book makes it very clear that she does not encourage anybody to actually get off the pill. If you are using the pill for contraception and it's the only option that you have, then you don't have to get off of it. Her mission, and mine as well, is to just educate you on some of the things that the pill can cause and to show you that it's not all in your head, and it could very well be a serious problem and issues with your hormones that you need to get figured out. So I hope that makes sense, just kind of going into this. Like, I'm not telling you should be getting off the pill. I do recommend just looking into other options if you can, but if the pill is really the only option for you for contraception and you're not wanting to get off of it, then you can at least practice some of the protocols that she has in her book to heal your body and your hormones, but even before you get off of it, you know, whether that's in a couple months or a couple years or whatever it is, but at least take care of your body, especially while you're on it, because the longer you are on it, the worse your symptoms could be and the harder the effects can be on your body. But just to kind of get into it, she does break her book up into 3 sections. And this book is a 30-day program. So like at the end, she has her 30-day Brighton program, and that's to kind of get you off the pill. It's to help you take the steps you need to really heal your body, heal your gut, heal your liver and your thyroid and your adrenals and everything that's involved when you do take the pill. So this book includes that program towards the end of the book. But part 1 includes the problem with the pill. So basically she talks about hormones. She talks about what your cycle is supposed to look like and what it looks like on the pill. She talks about just general issues it can cause, what post-birth control syndrome is. If you haven't heard of that, I didn't hear about that before I read this book. I had no idea it was even a thing. And also how to take back your period. And part 2, she explains what your body does while on the pill. She also explains how to detox from it, how to check your gut issues. She has like quizzes throughout the book to kind of help you figure out where your symptoms may be coming from, what hormonal issues you may be having, and also just like checking your adrenals and your HPA axis and all of those kinds of things. She also talks about different metabolic issues, thyroid, adrenals, how to take care of your mood swings, take back your mood so you're feeling better, how it can cause, the pill can induce anxiety or depression or cause mood issues, and also just how to boost your libido and your fertility as well. So the third part, again, it's called Take Back Your Body, and that's where she goes through her Brighton program. She gets you started with the 30 days, how to carry it out, and also alternative forms of birth control, and so that you can have other options and not just the pill. If possible, you want to go for something that is not hormonal, like that's the whole idea behind the pill, so you want to make sure that you're trying to stay away from that if you do go off the pill. But she does give other options that you can go through in the back of the book, as well as their efficiency, basically, like how well they work over a period of time and the percentages. But for now, like I said, I just want to cover some of the basics, and she really explains the pill as a Band-Aid. And I know I mentioned this in the second part of this series, but I am always telling my clients to avoid those quick fixes and Band-Aids in terms of your health and nutrition and your fitness. Stop getting waist trainers. Stop doing fad diets that you can't do long term. Stop trying to do keto when you love carbs. Like, it's not going to work. And the problem with the pill is that it literally just covers up the symptoms that you're having. So for me, for example, I had really painful cramps and I had irregular periods and some other symptoms that you may have gone to your doctor for, asking for a solution, and they put you on the pill. It could be PMS, it could be hormonal acne or headaches or mood swings, anxiety, depression, endometriosis. Any of those things could have been reasons that you were on the pill and not just for a contraceptive method. So think about that. First of all, they don't fix the symptoms. All they do is cover them up over a period of time and could potentially make them worse. But the problem is that the longer you're on the pill, the worse it can affect your hormones. And when you get off of it, that's when you're like, oh crap, it really didn't fix anything. It just made it worse. And now I am suffering big time. And that's where the post-birth control syndrome comes in. So some of the effects of post-birth control syndrome while you're taking the pill, your ovaries and your brain, they're supposed to have this connection where they can connect back and forth, send messages to each other. That is completely gone when you're on the pill. So when you get off of it, your body is trying to reconnect between the brain and the ovaries. And that's where the connection becomes a little challenging, and there can be some more symptoms that maybe you weren't expecting. So if you got off the pill and you were expecting it to be all roses and you thought you were going to be fine, and all of a sudden, bam, you have all of these symptoms. You have all the symptoms you had pre-birth control plus more, and your hormonal acne is coming back, your irregularity, or maybe you're not even getting your period. You are experiencing headaches or just loss of menstruation, infertility, pill-induced PCOS. If you're someone that's had PCOS and maybe it didn't come up until you were in your 20s, and you were on the pill, it could be pill-induced. You might not actually have POS, but you could have gotten POS by being on the pill in the first place. It can cause gut dysfunction long-term, autoimmune disease even, or symptoms. And so it's really something to pay attention to. When you are trying to get off the pill, make sure you have a set plan in place, because you don't want to get off the pill and experience all these symptoms and not know exactly what's going on. And the worst thing that you could do is get right back on the pill to fix those symptoms again, because it's just going to make them worse. If you're experiencing these things after you get off the pill and your doctor says to get back on it to prevent those symptoms from continuing, you need to find another doctor, and you need to not get back on the pill. You need to take care of your body internally. You need to take care of your adrenals and your thyroid and your gut and your liver and all of those things. All of those symptoms you need to take care of to get your body back to a healthy place before you do anything else. Especially if you're someone that is planning on getting pregnant, you want to make sure that you leave enough time. Like, don't get off the pill a couple months before and then try and get pregnant. She mentions a couple times in the book that could be a bad situation for your baby. First of all, you might not even be able to, you might not even be fertile. So you might not even be able to have a child within the first few months after getting off birth control. Or you may cause some hormonal imbalances in your baby because your body still has those hormonal imbalances going on. So keep that in mind if you are looking to get pregnant, but you're still on the pill. If you want to get pregnant within the next year or so, I would get off now and just, that is my recommendation. I am not a doctor. Talk to your doctor if you want to. Read this book if you want to. Make your own choice. But my recommendation would be to get off now and heal your body and your hormones before you try and get pregnant in the next year or two. And I don't know about you, but I really did not know some of the effects that the pill could have on my body. So I'm going to read a couple of the effects that it can have. These come straight from the book. And again, this is just to educate you, to give you an idea of what you're dealing with and how serious this situation actually is. So these include hormonal confusion. So we've talked about the missed, irregular, light, heavy periods, short cycles, infertility, headaches, digestive problems, leaky gut, energy reduction. You could be super tired long-term, like just fatigue, adrenal and thyroid dysfunction, skin issues, hair loss, dry skin, and mood disruption, depression, anxiety. Maybe if you've never dealt with some of those things before, they could come on after you get off the pill, or just long-term when you're on the pill. And lady part disturbances, that's her words from the book, but low libido, vaginal dryness, chronic infection, pain with sex, like those things are not normal, guys, especially if you're in your 20s. Like, it's not normal to have a low libido. That is definitely when, like, there's something wrong with your hormones if that is the case. Vitamin, mineral, antioxidant depression or depletion. So it sabotages your thyroid. It intensifies risk of blood clots, which can lead to stroke. It increases risk of breast cancer, cervical cancer, and some liver cancers. It increases risk of diabetes. It raises the risk of heart attacks and triggers autoimmune diseases. So I don't know about you, but like I said, I didn't know any of this. And that is literally within the first chapter. And I was like mind blown. I was like, holy crap, like this could actually be something that I'm dealing with. I have dealt with a couple of these things in the past couple years, and I haven't had any luck trying to figure out what the actual cause was. As soon as I read this chapter, I was like, wow, I think I found it. And I haven't shared what the doctor's orders yet or my lab results or anything like that, but I'm going to tell you right now, we're pretty sure that this is what it's from. So again, like, this book is packed full of information, and I would love to just do like a reading, like read the entire book to you, because I think it's so valuable. I do recommend, you can get it on Amazon. I'm sure you can get it at Barnes and Noble. I highly recommend, if you are a female and you've ever dealt with birth control, I would definitely recommend reading this book. Some of the other main topics that I kind of got out of this, and again, I'll do a part 2 as well, but some of the other main topics include any small changes in your hormones can affect your entire body. If one hormone is off, throws the entire rest of your hormones off. So you have to take care of each and every hormone and make sure that they are all in balance. And if that means taking some supplements to help with that to get started, then do so. But do what you can to get those hormones back in balance. The pill can seriously affect your gut and digestion, as well as your HPA axis, your thyroid, your metabolism, your adrenals, your mood, everything. If you think that you are hypothyroid, or you are feeling like you're seeing symptoms of PCOS or like diabetes, or certain things where like symptoms are coming in and you're not 100% sure, you're not diagnosed with anything quite yet, but you're getting some of those symptoms, get your hormones checked, especially if you're on the pill, because you may be getting like pill-induced issues, like symptoms that are related to some of those other disorders. I personally, again, I haven't shared much from my doctor's appointment yet, but I have dealt with a lot of hypothyroid symptoms. It runs in my family. It runs on my mom's side of the family. So I assumed that I just had, I had hypothyroid just really young. But in reality, I think that the pill just exacerbated some of those symptoms, but that's where the symptoms are truly coming from, is from the pill. So it looks like it's hypothyroid from one end, but that's just because the pill has messed up my thyroid so much that it portrays it as hypothyroid. So again, make sure you get specific tests done, make sure they dig deep and really find the root cause of your symptoms before you start taking supplements, before you start getting a diagnosis or anything like that. Talked about, you know, if you do plan to get pregnant, to get off of it and heal your body before you try. And be ready for the tough adjustments post-pill with the post-birth control syndrome. Because again, I didn't know that was a thing. I have thought about getting off the pill in the past, just like randomly, but I'm really glad that I didn't, because I am almost positive that I would have been absolutely miserable. I had pretty painful cramps beforehand, so I'm honestly, like, I'm nervous to get off the pill. As much as I want to and as much as I know it needs to happen, I'm honestly nervous because I'm not looking forward to having some seriously painful cramps. And who knows, maybe it won't be as bad as I think it will be, but just based on the book, I'm a little worried. Like I said, the symptoms are not all in your head. And if you are a female and you're experiencing some of these things and your doctors are telling you it's all in your head, like, again, find another doctor that will listen to you. I talked in the last video about going and finding a functional medicine doctor that will actually run the tests that need to be run. I will be in the second part of this two-part video, I guess. I'll be talking about some of the tests to make sure that they run, especially for your thyroid and for your hormones, just making sure like your sex hormones are run properly. And I'll also just cover, again, some different things on specific hormones like estrogen, progesterone, thyroid, adrenal glands, and all of those things and how the pill can affect them. But let me know if this makes sense. If you guys have any questions, make sure that you like, comment, and share with any woman around you that has been on the pill, is on the pill, or is thinking about taking the pill, because I would love to shed light on some of these things for them so that they can make the best educated decision on whether or not they should be taking it. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.